7, 10, 17, plus 15, 32, plus another 7 would be 39, plus another 6 would be 45. Oh, hello everybody, I didn't see you there. Why am I bringing you a counting educational game? Well, the reason is perfectly simple. Because math is fun. Whee! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am SocioPsycho, and today we look at the Counting Kingdom. This was created by Little Worlds Interactive, available for PC and Mac. Now, it is a very basic tower defense layout style of a game, propelled by mathematics, simple plus and minuses stuff. It is an educational game, which I find maybe entertaining for not only children but adults. Obviously, you won't be spending hours upon it, but whether you're an adult and you need to learn basic numerology, then this will be good for you. Whether you're studying for some test as a child or you're getting this for a kid, this really will help in the growth, I feel, of their development. I know looking back at my childhood, if I had this game, I would have enjoyed math a little bit more than rather just being the same old rhetoric that it is. So, let's go into the options menu. When you have music and sound effects, it's nice to have it on two different sliders. Not something I expected to see, but it's definitely nice that it's there. The music in the game is a nice upbeat instrumental style. I'm surprised they didn't go a little bit more classical, but hey, I'm not complaining. The music isn't horrible, and the sound effects aren't anything bad. You can always reset your data if you want to start completely over. And it has an intro story and an end story, which are actually pretty cute. And when you load up the game, a small window will pop up with a large variation of screen resolutions and graphic qualities. The graphics in the game are very simplistic, so you shouldn't have any issues on that front. The game has a multitude of levels, but beyond that, as you can see here, you start at the main castle, which is a good tutorial, and you work your way through all the land up to the last mission. Now, the level designs on these different missions are not anything overly spectacular in the differences, but that really doesn't matter, for the main point of the game is education and mathematics. Now, it also has a free-to-play mode where you can select the different type of difficulty you want to try to make it even harder for yourself, or just find yourself an extra challenge. This is pretty much just a skirmish mode where you have a random map and continuation of enemies based on which skill difficulty you pick. Now, how it does its mathematic puzzle, as you have to stop the enemies coming in from the right side getting to the towers on the left, and the enemy only moves when they are pushed forward by an enemy behind them. So somebody who is 3 blocks in, if nobody is 2 blocks in, then they will not be able to push the guy in the 3rd block to the 4th block. You have your spell book, which continues to pump out a combination of different numbers. Now, you can combine these numbers to create a higher number, and then you simply click on the monsters and select the correct value, and a spell will be cast defeating them. The game is based on mathematics in the plus category, adding more than anything else. There is some minor subtraction through the potions that they've implemented, where you can subtract 1 or 2 points from one of the monster's values, and then you may have the correct number you need in order to set off the spell. How the potions work with the game and how the game interacts with the environment is actually pretty well done. The game is compelling for you to learn, and while it may be only basic in addition, and I would have liked to see perhaps different avenues of, hey, here's some heavy subtraction, here's multiplication, what I was able to find out is that you can have negative numbers in the game, and it's nice that they have that added into the game, even if it's not something that you see on a regular basis. Different modes of mathematics in the game would have definitely been nice, but the level and difficulty I found in the progressional system of the game is enough to challenge a small mind, and even challenge many adults. I know many people who can't even count to 50. You buy something at the store and they're like, alright, that's $26.74, and you hand them a 50, and they just stare at you blank like, wait, how much change do I need to give back to you? It's something that is decent for anybody of all ages, although it will mainly appeal as an educational beneficially to children. I feel if a game did have subtraction and multiplication, as well as possibly even division, implemented in different game modes, it would have been a lot more diverse. And you say, well, you're talking about offering it to kids. And a kid will absorb the knowledge, especially when they're able to be drawn in with like a game like this, where you feel powerful and accomplished the more you learn and the more you know. It's tied in. This isn't my first game for educational purposes, but when it's done right, the kid feels empowered in their capability to actually understand the information and implement the information into a useful way of their lives. And while the counting only goes up to about 50, there is a star-based system. If you get 2 out of 3 stars on one of the missions, you can go back and replay, and that's a nice little challenge. That's a nice little replay value you got there. But where I feel they might have dropped the ball a little bit is that you have a score, but it doesn't keep track of the scores. And that, I feel, is really unfortunate. Because when you click on the tower that you've already done, it just immediately brings you into the game. It doesn't show like, hey, this is what you did before, why don't you try beating it? And by beating it, all you have to do is increase the number value of the game. If you have a monster point value of 35, and you're able to defeat all of them at once, you're going to get a higher score rep, as well as a bonus for clearing the entire map in one turn. Then new monsters will come on and you do the same thing. It's possible to clean out the whole map, but it takes a lot more mathematics because you have to think about, okay, how are all the numbers on the enemy? How are the numbers? What if I combine this? What will I get? And it's a little bit of a blackjack feel to it with the numbers because a number randomly comes out of the hat. Now what I have noticed is it is random, but it's not fully random because the numbers do come out in relation to what you have on the board. Therefore, if you only have one creature left and it's getting closer to your castle and it's a 5, you're not just going to get like 8s and 9s and 12s. It's going to give you a 5 so you don't feel gypped or cheated. When the game doesn't have a subtraction value in it, this is very important. I never felt at any point frustrated because of the controls, as well as the fact that the game has a sort of like a hint system. Now I'm 50-50 on this hint system. As an adult and an educated person, I'm like, you know what, I don't think that the hint system where they're having problems on that one selection of monsters, you know, their base value that they're trying to ring in is 40, but they only have selected 28 and they don't see it mathematically that there's a difference there. Well, it will pop up on the top of the screen in a nice solid way, adding all together the point values of a monster saying, hey, this is how you get 40 and you're trying to click 38. Now once you defeat those monsters, it will go away. But I feel it would have been better to implement the system more as a question mark or maybe a hint tab that would bring it down and you can bring it up if you wanted to, rather than have it there forced upon you. It doesn't allow a person to quickly realize, okay, I made a mistake, let me backtrack and find out where I made a mistake at. It says, hey, immediately, this is where the issue is. Giving that in the game is good, but letting it be optional is better. Now there are some people who may be like, well, I just want to try to get through it and give me the answer total, which kind of defeats the entire purpose as well. And I think there should have been maybe a 2 or 3 limit of a help per level. Like, hey, I'm stuck at this one part, I can't figure it out, I'm really trying. And so the person doesn't abuse the system, it would have a help like, hey, you have 2 hints left. The main purpose of the game is to be educational and fun. And I feel in both those categories, while it's a simplistic game, in both it's how much education it offers to a child and how much enjoyment it can offer, then yes, it does mean it. Because if I can be, as an adult, entertained by the graphic and the compellingness of the game, then no doubt a child who's learning about math and all this other stuff, seeing it in an educational and entertainment way, will definitely enjoy it. It's a nice break from where you have to be forced to learn something for no reason and enjoying to learn something. And so I recommend this to any parent out there who has a young child, or even any adult who has issues with math and might want to brush up on the adding table, even though it only goes up to 50. Would I like to see more in the game? Yes, I would. But for what it has, and the basic of what it does right, and I feel this could actually help people, and that's why I'm bringing you this review, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to help you help yourself. I have been SocioPsycho, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.